Hello, Yankees Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel, the New York Yankees News Network, where we bring you the most up-to-the-minute and fan-focused updates from the Bronx. Today, we have 3 jam-packed updates about our beloved Bronx Bombers stories that have just surfaced a few hours ago. From a shocking injury development to a rough night in Philly and a new face in pinstripes, this is the update every Yankees fan needs to hear. So if you bleed navy blue and white, you definitely don't want to miss a second of what's coming up. And hey, if you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat from the Bronx. Let's get into it. Update 1. Aaron Judge injury shocker. What it means for the Yankees' future. In a development that sent shockwaves through Yankees universe this afternoon, superstar outfielder Aaron Judge is heading to the injured list due to a flexor strain in his right elbow. After undergoing tests today, Yankees manager Aaron Boone confirmed the diagnosis. And while there's no tear in the ulnar collateral ligament, meaning no surgery is needed, the news still stings. Boone called it good news. But let's be honest, any time away from the field for Aaron Judge is a gut punch for Yankees fans. The timeline? Optimistically, Judge could be back as a designated hitter after a minimum 10-day stint on the injured list, with a potential full return to right field within 20 days. That would put him back patrolling the outfield by mid-August. It's aggressive, maybe even wishful, but it gives the Yankees hope. And what happens until then? Well, Boone has already talked to Giancarlo Stanton about shifting into the outfield, which could open up the DH spot for Judge once he returns. In the meantime, we might see more action from Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, and Jasson Dominguez in the outfield. But let's be honest, none of them bring what Judge does. Not even close. This is a guy who's been hitting .342 with a .449 on-base percentage and a .711 slugging percentage, literally leading the league in all major batting categories. He's not just a star, he's the sun around which the Yankees lineup orbits. And yes, Spencer Jones could have been a call-up to fill the void, but he's dealing with back spasms. So now eyes turn to Everson Pereira and Brian De La Cruz, both of whom are on the 40-man roster. Pereira especially has been hot in AAA, hitting .256 with a .516 slugging percentage in 300 plate appearances. Could he be the spark the Yankees need during Judge's absence? Whether Judge returns in 10 days or 20, one thing is clear. The Yankees' entire strategy this month, and possibly their entire postseason outlook, now depends on how fast and how safely he can recover. But here's the silver lining: no surgery. No long-term damage, for now at least, and that is something we can all breathe a sigh of relief about. Update 2. Yankees collapse against Phillies. Is the season slipping away? As if the Aaron Judge injury news wasn't enough of a gut punch, the Yankees followed it up by dropping their 3rd straight game, losing 9-4 to the Philadelphia Phillies, and let's be honest, this one was ugly. While fans waited anxiously for updates on Judge's elbow, what they got on the field was a game that felt lifeless, disjointed, and downright frustrating. Marcus Stroman, who was coming off his best start of the season, couldn't even make it out of the 4th inning. He walked 4 batters in that frame alone, including a bases-loaded free pass to Johan Rojas, the Phillies' 9th hitter. Add in 5 hits and you're looking at 9 base runners allowed in just 11 outs. Not exactly ace material. And let's not forget, Bryce Harper absolutely tattooed a pitch that might still be flying over the Bronx. Stroman looked rattled, and the bullpen didn't do much better. Yerry De Los Santos, Jonathan Loaisiga, and Alan Winans combined to allow more damage, including a 4-run 7th inning that felt less like a baseball game and more like watching a slow-motion train wreck. The offense? Almost non-existent. Anthony Volpe and Jazz Chisholm Jr. each had a couple of hits, and Jasson Dominguez drove in a lone run early, but the lineup never really threatened. The Yankees' only late highlight came from Giancarlo Stanton, who crushed his 436th career home run, passing Carlos Beltran and now sitting at number 47 on the all-time list. A bright spot, sure, but it was the only jolt of electricity in an otherwise dull performance. And let's talk about the bullpen, because since June 1st, it's been downright disastrous. Their earned run average stands at a painful 5.20, worse than all but 3 other teams in the league. For a club with postseason ambitions, that is a red flag waving from the top of Yankee Stadium. Yes, newcomer Ryan McMahon made a bit of a debut splash with a hit, a walk, and some nice defensive work, but it's not enough to offset a game filled with missed opportunities, sloppy execution, and zero fire. To make matters worse, the Yankees face Zach Wheeler in the series finale, and according to advanced stats, analysts like Tom Tango, Wheeler has been the best pitcher in baseball since 2018. The only upside is that Carlos Rodon takes the mound for the Yankees, and he's been quietly turning in a strong season. But can he stop the bleeding? This loss wasn't just a bad night. It felt like a team unraveling under the weight of pressure, injuries, and underperformance. And with Judge now sidelined, the big question looms. Who will step up and stop this slide before it snowballs into something irreversible? Update 3. The Yankees trade alert. Amed Rosario joins the Bronx smart depth move or desperate gamble. Just hours after Aaron Judge's injury news sent shockwaves through the fan base, the Yankees front office struck a deal acquiring infielder Amed Rosario from the Washington Nationals. The Bronx Bombers are sending right-handed pitcher Clayton Beeter and young outfield prospect Brown Martinez to D.C. in exchange. So, is this just a routine depth addition or a sneakily strategic move that could shape the Yankees' second-half push? Let's break it down. At 29 years old, Rosario brings 9 years of Major League experience, mostly with the Mets, Dodgers, and Reds. Now, he's returning to New York, but this time in pinstripes. While his overall numbers this season are solid, a .270 batting average, .310 on-base percentage, and .426 slugging percentage, it's his ability to mash left-handed pitching that makes him a valuable chess piece. Against Southpaws, Rosario has posted an impressive 126 weighted runs created, plus this season and a career average of 120. That makes him a perfect platoon complement, especially now that the Yankees' big lefty basher Judge is on the shelf. Here's where it gets interesting. Rosario likely becomes a platoon partner with newly acquired Ryan McMahon, who has struggled massively against lefties this year with a weak 58 WRC+. Insert Rosario at third base against Southpaws, and suddenly, a longtime problem spot in the Yankees lineup becomes a matchup advantage. The move also allows flexibility across the diamond. Rosario has played everywhere except first base and catcher. With Grisham, Chisholm Jr., and Ben Rice all putting up subpar numbers against lefties, manager Aaron Boone now has a Swiss Army knife who can give days off or exploit favorable matchups when needed. On the flip side, the Yankees gave up Clayton Beeter, a top 20 organizational prospect who had a 2.56 earned run average in AAA this season. He has electric strikeout stuff, punching out over 35% of hitters, but his command remains shaky with a 17% walk rate. The Nationals are betting on harnessing his raw talent and also take a flyer on 18-year-old Brown Martinez, who's been lighting up the Dominican Summer League with a ridiculous .404, .507, .632 slash line. So, what does this trade say about the Yankees' mindset? Despite Judge's injury and the recent losing skid, the front office is not retreating. In fact, they're going all in. The additions of McMahon and Rosario indicate a clear intention. Plug every hole, maximize every matchup, and be ready to strike when the postseason push intensifies. Could this be the beginning of a bigger splash before the trade deadline? Maybe. But even as a standalone move, bringing in Rosario gives the Yankees a battle-tested veteran who can help weather the storm. So, Yankees Nation, it's been a whirlwind few hours. From the devastating news on Aaron Judge, to another painful loss in Philly, to a bold move to strengthen the infield, today reminded us that the season waits for no one. We've got injuries, adversity, and inconsistency, but we've also got firepower, talent, and a front office that's clearly not giving up. The Bronx Bombers are bruised, but not broken. And with key players stepping up, smart roster moves being made, and the trade deadline looming this season is far from over. Let us know in the comments, do you think Rosario was the right pickup? Who else should the Yankees target at the deadline? And how worried are you about Judge's elbow? If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a Yankees update. This is the New York Yankees News Network, where Bronx Bombers fans always come first. Until next time, keep the faith, stay loud, and let's go Yankees.